Vehicle maintenance. In this module, you will learn how to maintain the vehicle properly. A daily or weekly recommended check helps to keep the vehicle safe and roadworthy. A properly maintained vehicle not only gives a peace of mind, but it also helps to reduce the maintenance expenses, saves fuel, and provides clean and healthy environment to society. To maintain the vehicle, motorists are advised to use a simple and comprehensive routine which is called POWER, or P-O-W-E-R. P is for petrol, O is for oils, W is for water, E is for electric, and R is used for rubber. Let's understand how this routine works effectively. Petrol. Driving around with the low fuel light on is one of those things that motorists shouldn't do, but still lets it happen from time to time. A survey has revealed that many motorists believe they can make it another 50 to 60 kilometers once the warning light turns on, and few of them even ignore it to the extent where the vehicle runs out of petrol and breaks down. According to experts, driving with an empty or close to empty petrol tank is a bad idea because the fuel gauge isn't always accurate, as it relies on a variety of factors, including the driving style and car's fuel economy. Allowing the level of petrol in the tank to run low can damage the car's catalytic converter, fuel pump, fuel filter, which may then need to be repaired or replaced. If the car suddenly stops, occupants could be stranded in the desert area or the middle of the freeway. Therefore, motorists should consider this absolutely. They may use the following tips to avoid running out of fuel. Keep the petrol tank no less than 1/4 full. Fill up before heading out on a long trip or even to work, as motorists may get stuck in traffic and have a longer ride than intended. Don't just rely on the car to tell you how many kilometers are left, as those range numbers can be deceiving and run down quickly depending on driving style. If necessary, use online tools to locate the nearest petrol station. In addition to eco-friendly products, there are fuels such as diesel and NGV to ensure that customers have the petrol type they need for their vehicles. Oil. Automobile engines have many moving parts. As these parts move and rub against each other, the force of friction creates heat. Oil lubricates the engine and absorbs heat, allowing the internal parts to work together effectively without overheating. There are different types of oils used in the vehicles, such as engine oil, power steering oil, brake fluid, automatic transmission oil, automatic cars only, manual gear oil, clutch fluid, manual cars only, differential oil. In general, all these oils should be checked when the engine is cold, most probably in the morning. Before opening any oil cap, it is better to clean the cap's surrounding area with the help of a clean cloth or rag to avoid dirt or debris falling into the oil. Moreover, the vehicle should be parked on a level surface to get accurate results. Let's discuss one by one how to maintain these levels properly. Engine oil. Motorists are advised to check the engine oil regularly. Driving with low oil level in the engine can lead to serious problems including overheating and engine seize. To check the engine oil, motorists should open the hood and find the dipstick for the engine oil. Remove the dipstick and wipe it off with a clean cloth or rag. Reinsert the dipstick completely, pull it out again, and check the oil level. The level of oil should be marked F, full or slightly below. It indicates that there is enough oil in the engine. If the oil is below or near the L, low, mark, then motorists need to add oil. To do so, find the oil filler cap, usually found on the top of the engine and marked as engine oil. Unscrew the cap and top up oil until the correct oil level is attained. After filling, replace the cap and make sure it is sealed tight. It is essential to change engine oil at regular intervals, which mainly depends on the type of oil, usually once every 5,000 or 10,000 kilometers. Power steering fluid. Power steering fluid provides hydraulic assistance for the power steering system. It improves lubrication in the power steering pump and steering gear. If there isn't enough fluid, steering becomes more difficult and internal parts of the steering pump could be damaged. Therefore, it's important to check power steering fluid levels on a regular basis and add fluid when necessary. To check the power steering fluid, motorists should locate the power steering reservoir. It is easy to see the fluid level if the reservoir is translucent. In case of metal reservoir, use the dipstick usually attached to the cap. Remove the cap and check the level. Read the cold marking on the dipstick if the engine is cold or hot markings if the engine is hot. If the level is low, use the funnel and add more fluid slowly to the required level. Do not fill it above the max line. After filling, replace the cap and make sure it is sealed tight. Many manufacturers are switching to an electronic power steering system to make their vehicles more economical because electronic power steering systems do not require a fluid pump driven by engine rotation to operate, which increases fuel economy. Brake fluid. Brake fluid plays an important role in the braking system of an automobile. When brake pedal is pushed down, fluid is delivered through the brake lines from the master cylinder to the brake drums or discs, slowing the car through friction. To make the system work properly, enough brake fluid is needed in the system. To check the brake fluid, motorists should open the hood and locate the master cylinder reservoir. It is usually located at the back of the engine bay on the driver's side. The reservoir is transparent with lines marked min and max. Make sure the brake fluid level is on or just below the maximum line. If the level is low, pour the brake fluid carefully up to the required level. After filling, replace the reservoir cap. Remember, brake fluid is toxic and corrosive, so wipe up if it spills. Automatic transmission fluid, ATF. Checking the automatic transmission fluid is relatively simple and should be done regularly to ensure the vehicle continues to shift gears smoothly and properly. Here are the steps to check the automatic transmission fluid. Locate the dipstick. It usually can be found behind the engine, often in red color. To get the accurate level, it is recommended to keep the engine on for some time. Hold the foot on the brake and move the shifter slowly through the gears. Finally, put the shifter in parking mode with the parking brake on. Remove the dipstick, wipe it down with a clean cloth. Replace and then remove it again. If the level reaches the mark on the dipstick labeled hot, it means no need to add the fluid. In case of low fluid, motorists may top up the fluid through the dipstick opening by using the funnel. Check the vehicle owner's manual for fluid specifications and filling location. Manual gear oil. Checking the manual transmission fluid is not a simple task because the gearbox is located underneath and not easily accessible. To check the gear oil level, motorists are advised to take their vehicles to the workshop or service stations. Clutch fluid. Manual cars only. In manual transmission vehicles, it is important to check the clutch fluid level regularly to avoid serious damages to the clutch system. The checking is similar to the brake fluid system with lines marked min and max on transparent reservoir. Make sure the clutch fluid level is on or just below the maximum line. Differential oil. The differential system allows the wheels to rotate at different speeds whenever it is required. Checking the differential oil is not an easy task because it is located under the vehicle and not easily accessible. Therefore, it is recommended to take the vehicle to the workshop whenever it is required to check the oil level. Water. Water is mainly used in the vehicle as coolant and windscreen washer. Coolant. Coolant is used to cool down the internal combustion engines. An engine produces a lot of heat when running and must be cooled continuously to avoid engine damage. This is generally done by circulating coolant liquid, made of water mixed with an antifreeze solution. It passes through the engine block, where it is heated, then through a radiator where it loses heat to the atmosphere, and then returned to the engine. Normal water can also be used in the radiator, but the coolant is recommended, as it removes and prevents from rust and corrosion. It does not freeze due to lower freezing point. It keeps the engine cool at maximum due to high boiling point. Motorists are advised to maintain the coolant level in the radiator and its reservoir tank. Remember, never open the radiator cap directly when it is hot, as it can cause serious injury or damage. In such cases, consider filling up the reservoir tank. Usually there are two lines on the side wall of the tank that indicate the minimum and maximum level. The level of coolant should not exceed the maximum level for smooth circulation of coolant in the system. Windscreen washer. Normal water can be used in the windscreen washer. Usually it is a white translucent container with a windscreen water symbol on the cap. It is important to keep the windscreen washer fluid full in the tank to clean the windscreen whenever required, because driving with a dirty windshield is not only a distraction, but it can make navigating roads difficult and dangerous. Electric. Electricity has a vital role in the safe and reliable operation of the vehicle. Battery is the primary source of electrical energy when the engine is not running or is being started. When the engine is running, the alternator recharges the battery and provides power to the vehicle's electrical system. Commonly, there are two types of batteries: wet cell battery, maintenance-free battery. Wet cell battery. The wet cell battery, also known as flooded battery, is the rechargeable battery. It may require the maintenance, as the distilled water from the battery can evaporate. Motorists should check this regularly to keep the distilled water level up to the upper level, which is clearly marked on the battery. Remember, take extra care while filling the battery with distilled water, because spilling may damage the other parts of the vehicle. Maintenance-free battery. Maintenance-free battery is the one that is not designed to be opened or refilled. Therefore, when a maintenance-free battery loses its ability to hold a charge, it must be checked using the built-in hydrometer eye. The exact type of eye varies between battery manufacturers, but most apply a sticker to the battery itself explaining the possible readings. Usually the readings are as follows. Green eye indicates a properly charged battery. Dark eye indicates a low charge which can be recharged. Light or yellow eye indicates that battery needs replacement. Rubber. There are varieties of vehicle parts that are made up of rubber. Some of the most important rubber components and parts are tires, hoses and pipes, belts, wiper blades. Tire. Tires are one of the most important components of the vehicle. It is the only part of the vehicle that has direct contact with the road. Tires play a key role in vehicle and all its occupants' safety, as they provide traction for braking and acceleration, maintain steering and directional control, support the weight and load of the vehicle, act as a shock absorber for road irregularities. Motorists should consider the following for tire safety: tire type and size, tire condition, tire alignment, Tyre Air Pressure. Tire type and size. The tire type is determined by joint consultation between the vehicle and tire manufacturer, as they take into account all aspects of operations, including comfort, performance, handling, and driving conditions. Motorists may find various codes and markings on the side wall of the tire. The size is also mentioned on that, which is made up of different numbers and letters. For example, the tire size has the following profile where 225 is the tire section width in millimeters. 55 is the aspect ratio in percentage, the height of the sidewall divided by the tire's width. R is a radial, which denotes the tire's construction type. 16 is the rim diameter in inches. 91 is the load index. V is the speed rating. This information is important to choose the accurate tire for the vehicle. The right choice helps influence a number of key factors, including driving comfort, tire noise level, fuel consumption rates. Tire condition. The condition of the tire can be checked with the help of the following measure: Tyre age, tread depth, tread wear indicator, visual inspection. Tyre age. In this region, it is recommended that the tyres must not be used more than 4 years. The manufacturing week and year of the tyre can be checked with the help of a 4-digit DOT code. The first 2 digits represent the week of manufacture, and the last 2 digits will be the year. For example, 2517 would mean 25th week of 2017. Tread depth. The tread is the grooved outer layer of the tyre which is in direct contact with the road. The rubber compound is designed to grip the road, resist general wear and tear, and cope with high temperatures generated by friction. Tread depth of a new tyre is approximately 8 mm. Once the tread depth drops below 3 mm, the tyre loses its original properties. The minimum legal requirement for tread is 1.6 mm. However, it is advisable to be on the safer side and change the tyres when tread depth drops below 3 mm. Tread wear indicator. Tyre wear indicators, also known as TWI, looks like a triangle and is located on the shoulder of the tyre. It indicates that there is a tread wear indicator bar that is molded at the bottom of the grooves at several locations. When these bars become visibly level with the adjacent ribs, it means tyre has no more than 1.6 mm of tread remaining. Therefore, tyres must be replaced before the tread reaches this bar level. Visual inspection. It is always recommended to visually inspect the tyres for the common defects that include sidewall tear, sidewall cut, bulges, exposed plies, penetration damage. Tyre alignment and balancing. Wheel alignment and balancing is very important for the safety of tyres and to make sure the comfortable driving. The misaligned wheels can cause tyres to wear more quickly and irregularly. It prevents the vehicle from running or braking in a straight line. Aligning the wheels can help maximize tyre life and ensure that the vehicle drives straight and true when on level surfaces. The improper wheel balancing causes extra stress on the suspension, shock absorbers and steering components, which can cause the unusual vibration or thumping noise, called cupping. Every time a new tyre is mounted onto an axle, the wheel should be rebalanced to ensure it continues to rotate evenly. Motorists may rotate tyres on a regular basis to improve the performance and life expectancy of the tyres. However, consider wheel alignment and balancing every time the tyres are switched. It is a good idea to use the computerized alignment machine for automatic, quick, and accurate calibration. Tyre Air Pressure. The main function of a tyre is to carry the load of the vehicle and provide a comfortable ride. Therefore, it is important to keep the correct air pressure in the tyres. The correct air pressure can be found in the vehicle owner's manual and on a placard mounted on the vehicle. Motorists should check this on a regular basis, preferably every fortnight, because the tyre air pressure can drop naturally and may reduce up to 2 psi in a month. Both underinflated and overinflated tyres get damaged more easily. To maintain the tyre pressure, motorists should use a proper tyre gauge to measure the tyre pressure. Check pressure and inflate only when the tyres are cold. Inflate the spare tyre at least 10% extra than the running tyre. Tip: consider inflating tyres with nitrogen rather than old-fashioned air, as it runs tyres cooler, stays inflated longer, and lasts up to 20% longer. Hoses and pipes. In the engine compartment, there are varieties of rubber and rubber-type hoses. These include radiator hoses, hydraulic hose, fuel hose, and vacuum hose. Although these black rubber hoses may be the same size or have a similar appearance, they are not interchangeable because they have to meet the required heat, pressure, and corrosion specifications. Radiator hoses. Coolant is transported into and out of the radiator by hoses. There is an upper and lower radiator hose. While they both transport coolant, they are very different in length, shape, and function. The upper radiator hose carries the hot coolant from the engine to radiator, whereas lower hose takes back cooled down coolant from the radiator to the engine. Hydraulic hoses. It provides the ultimate fluid conveyance like the brake or clutch fluids. Fuel hoses. It carries the fuel from the fuel tank to the carburetor or fuel injectors to power the engine. Vacuum hoses. It determines the air and fuel mixture needed for the best performance. All these are made of rubber, so it is common for them to crack or weaken over time due to the high temperature in the engine compartment. Motorists are advised to check these hoses weekly and particularly before a long trip. Consider replacing the hoses if any of the following is noticed: softness or swelling, hardness or cracks, chafing or heat damage. Remember, a good hose will be firm, flexible, and free of swelling or cracks. Belts. Another important part of the vehicle which is made of rubber is the belt. The most common type of belts is serpentine belts. A serpentine belt, also known as drive belt, provides power to the air conditioning compressor, power steering pump, cooling fan, air injection pump, and more. It is a single long belt that drives all the engine components that would otherwise be powered by multiple V-belts. If vehicle's serpentine belt breaks, all of the engine parts it is powering will stop working, and the engine could overheat and be damaged. Therefore, look for cracks, wear and stripping to determine if it is in danger of failing. Another belt which is inside the engine is the timing belt. The slapping noise indicates a slipped belt which can be struck by the engine's piston. If the timing belt breaks, it can cause major engine damage. Therefore, it is important to check the timing belt by professional mechanic as per the manufacturer's recommendations. Wiper blades. Another important part which is made of rubber is the wiper blades. It removes raindrops and debris from the windscreen on rainy days and plays a vital role in keeping the vision clear. As the windshield wipers are constantly exposed to sunlight at high temperatures, motorists are advised to park the vehicle in covered parking, especially when parking for a long time. Otherwise, lift the wiper blades and keep them away from the windshield. The power is the simple way to remember and quickly check the vehicle for ensuring the roadworthiness of the vehicle. Many modern vehicles have the complete computerized system. Therefore, the engine compartment is completely covered. In such vehicles, regularly monitor the computerized mechanism. In case of any fault or warning light, motorists may contact the authorized service centers for appropriate action.